Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Playwright's Corner. I'm Peter Anthony Fields, and today we have our special guest, Daniel Sovich. Hey,
Going
Dan.
on?
How you doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Let's see. Well, we're going to jump right into this. So tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Daniel Sovich. I am a musician and an actor. And currently I'm in New York working on opening up a new Broadway show, Almost Famous, based off the movie of the same name.
Very cool. That's one of my favorite films, by the way. Almost
Yeah.
Famous. I would love to be able to get to New York to see it. Um, so, how did you get to where you are now?
I guess this particular thing, a couple of years ago, I had auditioned for it, and we had been working on it for a bit before the shutdown happened, and then I don't know, things were kind of just put on hold for about two years and change, and then eventually just got a call saying, "Hey, they're gonna start doing the show." So kind of getting affairs in order and figuring out how to move up back from Nashville up to New York.
Okay, we worked together about 10, 12 years ago on a film called Silent Truth.
Oh
And
yeah,
yeah, and I was wondering, well, first of all, you had mentioned that you wanted to be on Broadway back then. And I thought that was cool that you had a long range goal. And you wanted to be actually in Greece, I remember.
oh really?
Yeah, you said you wanted to play a part in the show Grease. And so I thought that was cool too. Um, so what is it? What is it like to be on Broadway now? It actually happened. That dream that you had, that goal that you had, it actually came true, and you're on
Yeah.
Broadway.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's really tough. We are. This interview is finding us like in the middle of tech and everything, so I'm sure I'll have a significantly more positive answer to that question a month from now. But it's really hard right now. The show's awesome. The cast is really great too, but man, the hours and the bar is set very high, and it is work. It's we're working 6 days a week and more than more than half the day. Majority of the waking day is pretty much just sleeping, coming to work,
Right.
and then
How does this,
heading home.
how does this compare to film work?
I liked filming significantly more because even like tough scenes and stuff, you only have to really deal with it the one day of shooting, and then you're on to the next scene. But every day is different, which is, you know, as just a creative person, it's just nice working on something different every day.
Yeah.
The repetition of what doing a musical is, specifically on Broadway, 8 times a week, is it's difficult trying to find new ways to make it exciting and fun and new every night.
Right. Someone had told me that what they do when they're in live shows is that they try to think of a goal, that a different goal each show that their character is aiming for or trying to reach and accomplish.
Yeah.
Yeah, all kinds of little tricks. You have a band of your own, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Disco Fox.
Let's go for
Actually got some business cards right here.
it.
Something like that. Here's kind of, this is what the band looks like. This is little stickers. That's the logo.
Very cool. I love
Yeah.
that logo. How much did the being in your own band over the past 3 years has it been?
The band itself's probably been a thing for. I lived in Nashville for a little over 2 years, but the band didn't even get formed until probably 5 to 6 months into it, so maybe a year and a half.
Okay. And so being in a band for real, how does that inform your performance in Almost Famous, where you are in the band in the stage play?
Oh well, I'm not in the band in Almost Famous. I'm
Okay.
I'm part of the ensemble and stuff. So I mean, Yeah, I mean, there's not really a ton that carries over. I'd say like being the band itself, like leading the band might cater a little bit towards like, being like a leading track and something like that, and the pressures of all that and whatnot. But um, my the ensemble track I have in the show is significantly easier to do every night than like when we would do like the 4 hour band shows in Nashville, like down on Broadway. It was just like 4 hours of nonstop singing. So the endurance of that, and like the the work put in ahead of time trying to figure out the perfect keys to do for songs, and like what's a better key to do if we do this song towards the end of the night, my voice is hurting a little bit more, like having all those things ironed out, and having just rosters of musicians. I mean, that was the other thing too. There wasn't really a set band. I just knew a ton of musicians in town. There were certainly guys I would reach out to first about gigs, but I would book them, and a lot of the times they were busy. Some of them had their own bands that were doing better than mine even was, and mine was just kind of like a fun side project. So it was, that was more of like, figuring out how to kind of be in charge and you know negotiate contracts, book us in places, bring guys in and out, decide what we're singing, writing material for it and stuff. Whereas this is much more kind of the gears, making things work and stuff. How do we highlight um, the features that are happening on stage? So I guess maybe that's one is um, being able to like lead that band and like be that leading person and see how the musicians were doing what they could to complement that story being told in the band. I'm on the other side of it now. Like I'm part of the ensemble supporting those leads, trying to figure out, okay, like when to make moments bigger and when to do as much as you can without being distracting.
Right. And you have appeared in, was it three network television programs? Um,
Yeah, they're all CBS shows. There was one called Doubt. That was I guess it was my first thing. It was that one was just like a quick like flash. There were no lines or anything. It was just like a quick reaction shot to something that had happened. Then there was an episode of Blue Bloods that was a nice little co-star role, like 4 lines I think it had in it. It was cool. Got to do a scene with Donnie Wahlberg, and then the last thing was a guest star on this other CBS show that was in its first season. It was called The Code, and it was about like specifically like military attorneys, kind of like Tom Cruise and A Few Good Men.
mhm. Very cool. Not everybody can say they've been on three network television shows.
Yeah.
Um, okay, in terms of advice for others, what would you say? What are the qualities that a person, based on your experience, what are the qualities do you think that people need to have or practice in order to make it in this business?
You gotta love it, man. Like I said, I enjoy coming to work every day, and like I like the people I work with, but like it really really kicks my ass every day. Like I pretty much just go home and fall right asleep. Um, and even though this is something I like doing, it's still extremely taxing. And oh, did I lose you?
No.
Oh, there we go. We're back. Sorry, my computer just went crazy for a second. But yeah, I would say because most people are only going to see like kind of the glamour moments and all that, especially with things like Instagram and all that stuff, and just the hours and hours that go into even like this show. Our show's about 2.5 hours long, and it's like, I mean, granted, there was a 2 year gap when things shut down, but we started working on this. At least I came along in February of 2019. Um, and then we did an out of town run in the fall of 2019 for 2 months. And then we did like a quick, week long workshop of it last October, and then another month long workshop of it this March. and now we're just finally, you know, in our theater for the first time. I'm actually in my dressing room right now, and yeah, we've started previews. We had our first week of previews last week, and now we've got the shows going up. November 3rd is official opening. But yeah, I mean, the amount of hours that you put into it, you got to really make sure it's, you know, something that you like, something you want to be doing and stuff, because it is grueling for sure.
Yeah. Takes a lot of dedication to do that kind of work. You
Yeah,
really be dedicated to work. Now, talking about you were in previews in 2019, then COVID came along and sort of derailed everything in our lives. So, talk to us about setbacks. Setbacks are inevitable. How do you
sure.
handle getting through the frustrations of setbacks? How do you keep your spirit?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So the show actually was never in previews. We had just done like an out of town run of it.
Okay.
So we did. I think they say like on average it costs like $10 million to open up a Broadway show. So you better know it's going to be successful, or you know
Yeah.
at least have a shot to be.
Right.
So you do these out of town runs and stuff, see how things do, see what changes you should make, kind of gauge the audience's reactions, critics, and stuff like that. But we had done that, and the game plan was we were going to open in the spring of 2020, and then things got derailed before we had started rehearsals. So you know, as sad as that was, it would have been worse like if we had just opened for like a week and then that happened, because it's hard to gain all that momentum and excitement back again.
Right.
But um, I mean, yeah, I guess you just gotta try and navigate, figure out ways to bounce back and stuff. I mean, this entire career is just you audition for things and don't get roles. Like, you know, if you get like one role a year, you're doing great.
Right.
Um,
So,
and
so
you just gotta have like really like it kind of comes back to like yeah you better really love doing it and not just be doing it to try and get like famous or something,
right.
and then you know I guess be able to handle that rejection. And like you know it comes in waves for me. Like sometimes like I can let it roll off, and other times it's a role you really wanted, and it you know it stings a lot.
Yeah. So if you were to say something directly to a young person, like a 12-year-old who is excited about going into this business, and what would you say to her um, about staying with it and being determined to not let the setbacks get you down?
Yeah, it's an interesting question because I to be honest, I don't think that everybody should go into this just because it's like, oh, I enjoy theater and stuff. Like, I keep coming back to like, you have to live and breathe it. Like, you have to like need it in your life. You have to literally not be happy doing anything else, or else when those setbacks happen, you'll find yourself wondering if you could be doing something else and if that would be making you happier, making you more money, like all these things. Like you know you have to pay a lot of dues before like things begin to you know you start to reap the benefits of things and stuff. So I guess the advice I'd be to somebody is like you'll know like if it's like you know like I said you truly can't picture yourself doing anything else, then it's just like anything. It's you know work as hard as you can at it, try your best to like throw things away when they don't go your way, and I guess in all the time in between that, just try to put yourself in situations that are going to keep you like mentally healthy and physically healthy and able to be able to withstand those setbacks, you know, a lot better than if things are not going according to plan in your everyday life. But if you find yourself you're like, no, this is what I want to do, like this is the only thing that makes me happy, whatever, then that's all you can do. You just keep on doing it, keep grinding, and then eventually like it will, you know, it'll happen.
Yeah.
I think that's what they call things like you know, they would say in Nashville it's a 10-year town, and it's like it has nothing to do with talent because I was surrounded by crazy talented people. It's just most people don't have the drive to stick with it.
Mhm.
You know, like even if they like really go hard for like a year or two or three, then they just get sick of it, and you would rather be making better money elsewhere or not hearing rejections, and people just give up. But
Yeah.
if you stick with it and like keep grinding, yeah, it's kind of like playing the lottery. If you stop playing it, you'll never win. If you
Right.
keep playing it, you might not win, but you at least have a chance.
Right. There was a playwright whose name escapes me right now. I can't remember her name, but she's a very popular playwright, Pulitzer Prize winning playwright, actually, I think.
Oh,
And she said that when she was in school for writing, playwriting, she realized that she doesn't have to be the best writer in the room. She just has to be the most tenacious
yeah.
and determined to stick with it. She said there were better writers than she, but they didn't have the dedication or
Yeah,
the true
100%.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Like most of this industry is like who you know. So like the people that like you don't spend time talking to and getting to know their names and everything might have been somebody who, you know, might have wanted to help you out down the line or something like that. So, you know, just try and be like it's not like not even like try and be nice to people so it pays back, but just like treat people the way you want to be treated and like they'll remember, oh, you were a good he's a really good guy. I want to help him out if I can, you know. And then yeah, if I definitely I can think of somebody specifically right now off the top of my head that has a great like name, just sounds like a marquee name, phenomenal musician, like great tone to their voice and everything, but just absolutely zero work ethic. And it was like really frustrating to see that happen because you can't like explain like tell somebody be like you need to work hard blah 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 like if they don't want to do it,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
yelling at them or making them take classes or whatever, no matter what you do, it's the whole you could bring a horse to water but you can't make it drink, like,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, and I can think of a number of people who are writers, very good writers,
Yeah.
extremely good writers, who don't take advantage of the moment and do the work and put their work.
Mm-hmm.
They have so much to give, but you know, what are you going to do?
Right.
Yeah. Um, and finally, my final question to you is: how do you stay grounded in the field of in this entertainment business? How do you stay grounded, and how important is it to have a network of friends and family for support?
Yeah, I was gonna say exactly that, man. I mean, it's nice. Like I said, I'm tight with the cast, and that's great. But it's really nice having friends and family that don't get this, that are just completely unattached from everything, to just have something completely different to just step away and go to. And you know, when you don't get those auditions, or you know, when your scene gets cut from something, TV, film, stage, whatever, like yeah, it's really nice having a network of people that like care about you and believe in you and stuff, that can kind of help you keep going, because it's extreme. I mean, especially living in like New York, for example, like it's just a very lonely city. Everybody's kind of like just going about their business, like doing their own thing with like blinders on, so it's very easy to get lost in it. And you know, it's yeah, it's nice knowing that there's people like checking up on you, still believing in you, like because even when you're not believing in yourself, it kind of keeps you going.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all we have for today. All the questions we have, and
Oh,
yeah, and so I want to thank you very much for being a part of this new structure I have for my Playwrights Corner blog, video blog. And is there anything you want to say off the top of your head that you just want to, any message you want to give, or
nothing particular. Or what did we say on set? Don't suck.
yeah, represent, don't suck.
That's right.
Anything like this, represent, don't. Yeah, you guys can, viewers can watch the outtakes of Silent Truth on YouTube, and you'll see Daniel, whichever side you're on,
Yeah, right.
doing the represent, don't suck, and making all kinds of faces and stuff. We had fun making that movie.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you again, Daniel.
Yeah, Pete, it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you too. All right. Well, that does it for our Playwrights Corner for today. And I hope you join me next time when I have a new guest. And but until then, keep writing, have fun, and love each other. See ya.
See you, brother.